peace through justice, and we just created politically the special tribunal for the crime of aggression of Russia against Ukraine. Now, as per your question regarding sanctions, yes, we are preparing new sanctions against Russia that will be combined, hopefully, with sanctions that US senators, under the leadership of Lindsey Graham, have prepared to force Vladimir Putin to agree to a ceasefire leading to full-fledged peace negotiations. I think that this second operation is a marketing operation. As well, yeah. That is a fake truce that was violated more than 1,000 times, according to Ukrainian observations last night. And that's an attempt to try and convince the United States of America that Vladimir Putin is indeed willing to enter into ceasefire. But these marketing operations are convincing no one. And from the statements by President Trump yesterday night, it is clear that he has understood that unless pressure is applied on Vladimir Putin, he will not be willing to agree to a ceasefire and to enter into genuine peace negotiations. I spoke with Lindsey Graham, the US senator that has put together a sanction package that is absolutely massive, that proposes to raise tariffs up to 500% on Russian exports, as long as Russia and Vladimir Putin does not agree to a ceasefire. And we are, as Europeans, putting together a new sanction package that will target many of the ships that Russia is currently using to keep selling its oil without respecting the oil price cap that we have set, but also entities of the Russian system, as well as actors of disinformation and destabilization maneuvers. Hopefully, this sanction package will be adopted in the next few days, which will add more pressure on Vladimir Putin. So Ukraine has done its part. Now it's up to Russia to do its own. And the role we've been playing in these discussions, as France in particular, and the President Macron, who's been working with President Trump for a long time now, has been in close contact with him, is to convince the US that it's Vladimir Putin not doing his part. That's why we've been hearing, we've been seeing in past few hours or days, the position in the US shift towards a tougher stance with respect to Russia. If we start allowing for international recognition of annexed territories by brute force, then we will see conflicts arising around the world on this basis, because this principle that is enshrined in the UN Charter and that has prevented many conflicts in the world will be seen as obsolete. We don't want it to be obsolete. So we are collectively, as Europeans, training Ukrainian soldiers. We have this operation called OIMAM, where we've trained more than 60,000 soldiers. We have actually trained in France more than 15,000 soldiers, including a full brigade, which is very important because it's one thing to train soldiers, it's another one to train them to use the equipment that we supply to Ukraine. We have frozen 240 billion euros worth of Russian assets that were lying in Europe. What have we done with them? Well, we've used their revenues in order to provide financial support to Ukraine. One example are the military cooperation projects that we signed this morning in Lviv. For 1 billion. Another example is this so-called loan, which looks like a grant actually, that we were able to provide to Ukraine alongside G7 partners for a total amount of $50 billion. As far as Europe is concerned, Based on this loan that is reimbursed not by Ukraine but by the revenues of frozen assets, Europe is going to provide 18 billion euros to Ukraine in financial support in the year 2025.